Unless you're blessed with the looks and body of a Chad or the pockets of Elon Musk, as a guy you're basically invisible to most women. And this isn't something that should come as a surprise to you. Women and men are genetically disposed to look for the best mate they can find. However, we do this in different ways. Men are typically attracted to beauty, purity and loyalty. And most men will probably think that most women share these standards when looking for a mate. But this isn't always the case. Most women are actually attracted to men with high status and value, not just good looks. Because think about it this way. Like a good looking guy that, let's say, works at McDonald's, has no ambition, smokes weed all day, lives in his parents' basement, broke, just all around down bad guy. He can definitely still attract women in the short term, especially, younger women that are more naive. But in the long term, women aren't actually attracted to men that, have a future, that have goals they're chasing, and just overall passion for life. Because at the end of the day, women are looking for someone that they'd be proud to call the father of their kids. So even as an average looking man, as long as you're passionate, respected, and successful, you're still able to attract the highest caliber of women. And to be honest, this is a cheat code for average and even unattractive men. Because you can make up for, what you lack in physical attractiveness, whether it's your height, or just your facial looks in general, with being in good shape, adding value to society, or even just your community, and just having an overall passion for life and, striving to be a better person. And something I think a lot of young men fail to, really grasp, because to be honest, it's something I struggled with personally for a long time. It's the fact that although women and girls, act like they want a guy to chase them, but realistically, women find it, repulsive almost when a guy is willing to do anything and everything to get their attention. I know it's quite fucking confusing, isn't it? But it's a fact. Like, a guy who's willing to do anything and everything for a woman he barely knows is a simp. And for me, I think women would see it as a sign of weakness and a sign of lack of self-respect. Because realistically, why would you do the most for someone that doesn't even know you, or someone who doesn't really care about you? It doesn't really make any sense. It shows that you probably don't value yourself very highly. Because a purposeful man that has passion in his life and passion for the people in his life, and actually values himself and loves himself, will not be so thirsty for the approval of others, especially random women that he barely knows, because he values and respects himself immensely. And of course, this is a really hard thing to understand as a young man, because the society and your parents and everyone around you kind of tells you, you're supposed to treat women like queens, you're supposed to do this for women, you're supposed to do that for women, chivalry, all that kind of shit. And the truth is, you doing all that does not guarantee you any results. That's a fact. We're told that, you treat women like this, you treat women like that. But realistically, in today's society, if you do that, you're gonna get walked all over. And I remember feeling so frustrated about this when I was a teenager, because obviously as a teenager, you don't really know anything, do you? Especially about girls and women and shit. So I would always compare myself to, the top guys, the guys that had all the girls lining up for them. And I used to think what am I doing that's so wrong? Where I thought, I was the typical, nice guy. I wouldn't ever impose myself on a girl. I wouldn't be pressuring her to do nothing. I want young men to know, there's no rush to, jump into these random, meaningless, pointless relationships. There's no rush whatsoever. I can honestly say I don't regret not getting bitches back in the day. If anything, bro, it builds your character. Think about it. If you're let's say you're 15, 16, and you're just being yourself, and just by being yourself, you're getting attention from the best looking girls in your school or whatever, that would mentally make you think, okay, I'm the shit. I'm that guy. It's all about me. I'm that guy. And you would take that energy out into the world. But basically, not getting bitches when you're a teen, it really helps you build character, bro. It helps you build character. If I had all the girls back in the day, God knows what kind of monster I would be today. So just a little backstory and be I've never been, too popular with the ladies or nothing like that. I'm the kind of low-key guy, kind of keep to myself. But that changed when I went to uni, of course, because I moved out of the house for the first time, had my own space. Basically, uni just a bunch of horny teenagers just thrown into a room together, and then let's just see what happens. It's basically a big, weird social experiment that everyone pays for. Yeah, when I went to uni, I wasn't as invisible as I was before. I would get more attention from girls, basically. And if I'm being honest, I took advantage of it, innit? I was fine, fair enough. But during my time in uni, it actually opened my eyes up to the fact I had a envision of what girls and women were. And when you actually get around them, you spend some time with them, you realize that the idea you have it in your mind of like all these girls that you're looking at and how great they are, when you really talk to them, like, bro, most of these girls have fucking nothing to say. They're just like, they're not very interesting. Some of them, like, and you just think, is this who I was like having daydreams about? It just made me realize like this might be, you know, problematic to say, yeah, whatever, but girls, women, they're just humans as well, bro. Like, what? Us guys, we tend to put women on a pedestal and think they're superior to us, and it's something that's subconsciously in us. Like, I feel like as a guy, like, society puts it into our brain that, you know, they're, you know, precious or whatever, but when you talk to them, they're just regular people. Like, they're just as funny, stupid, gross as any other guy is. Like, and this is something that many guys just never realize simply because they never actually get the chance to be around the women that they fantasize about. That simple. Like, when you actually talk to these women that you think are, you know, the best thing in the world, you just realize they're just regular people as well. So I really suggest you just go out there and actually just talk to women. I've checked my analytics and I know that most of you watching are like in your teens, so I know it's probably pretty fucking scary to do this, but I think it'll probably benefit you in the long term. Like, just chat to girls more, like, not even like on a like dating or sexual thing, just talk to them like regular people, and you realize they're just regular people, like, and they're not really something you're supposed to be chasing or longing for. And you'll realize that the more experience you have with women, because the truth is, sex will not make you that guy. Having meaningless sex with attractive women is not going to make you love yourself more, bro. It's not. So I know many of you guys probably like look up ways to pull girls, how to pull a baddie, you know. Or if you're as down bad as I used to be, you might even watch those cringy flipping pickup artists on YouTube, you know, that kind of stuff. Like, I just want you to think for a second, like, what's the end goal here? Because you won't like hearing this, but bro, you're definitely insecure. You're looking for validation. That's all it is. Subconsciously, you believe that having sex with random attractive women that you barely know will somehow make you love yourself more.
Stop it. Get some help.
And I know this because this is something that I've had to, you know, get out of my brain and I've had to wrestle with, because it's something that I feel like it's kind of indoctrinated into us. Like, the idea that being able to have access to, you know, lots of different women somehow makes you a better person. Like, it doesn't even make any sense when you say it like that, but in reality, the truth is the complete opposite. All these sexual encounters with random people, they sap your energy, they sap your self-esteem. Like, well, and I know, you know, you're watching this thinking, nah, like, there's no way. I know when I sleep with all those girls, it's gonna be great, and I'm gonna, you know, just love it. So I want you to go out there and learn for yourselves, because as we all know, the best teacher is always gonna be experience. I guarantee you'll come back to this video and you'll understand it way more. So since what you really want is validation of your worth as a man, you must find a way to achieve this in a more healthy way that doesn't rely on the judgment and validation of random women that you don't even know or care about. And the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to become passionate about your life. So love yourself and the journey that you're on. So set yourself goals, work towards achieving them, be consistent, hold yourself accountable. And if you keep doing this, you know, day on day, week on week, month on month, year on year, you will become the guy. You'll become that guy. You'll become the guy that you want to become. You'll become the guy that you think you'll become from having sex with all these women. And you realize that you don't need to be validated by random women to, you know your own worth. And once you're in this position of, you know, becoming the best version of yourself, you'll be in a position where you're able to filter out exactly what type of women you want and exactly what quality of women you want. And instead of being a guy that just desires lots of women but has nothing to offer them, you'll be a guy who's desired by a lot of women because of how much you have to offer. Click on this video to learn more about becoming the best version of yourself. And help me beat the fucking YouTube algorithm, because all my days I'm struggling down here, bro. So like and subscribe to help more young men hear this based advice that they need to hear. Have a good day, guys. Peace.